They always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for the Real Sports Talk, giving you your AFC East preview live from Philadelphia Eagles training camp. I guess it's not technically live, but I just like saying that. AFC East is an interesting division because you have the whole turmoil with the Jets that happened last year. They bring Tim Tebow in the offseason. The Bills started out great and then kind of fell apart. The Patriots were Rob Gronkowski dive away from winning another Super Bowl, and the Dolphins drafted Ryan Tannehill and looked ahead in a different direction with their team. We'll begin at the team that I have in last place, that is the Miami Dolphins at 6-10. The Dolphins this offseason traded Brandon Marshall away, drafted Ryan Tannehill and David Garrard. They really went for it early in the offseason, trying to get guys like Peyton Manning. Just did not work out, so they decided to go more in the direction of rebuilding this team for the long term. What I did like last year is I thought Reggie Bush by far showed the most improvement that I've seen out of his NFL career. I think he continues to improve this year. He's always been a weapon out of the backfield to catch passes, but something I liked out of him last year that he did more was he was able to be just a better, more effective overall rusher for this team. Like, he was really a feature back for the Miami Dolphins last year. They have a decent defense and a decent receiving core. Well, they did have a decent receiving core, but now that Brandon Marshall's gone, it's going to take a while to rebuild that receiving core. And that was a tough loss. I just don't understand only giving him up for only 2 third-round picks. In third place, I have the New York Jets at 7-9. The New York Jets in this offseason traded for Tim Tebow. They signed LaRon Landry. That was a nice pickup, a low-risk, high-reward type deal to safety. They re-upped with Mark Sanchez. Not sure if that move, I think that was just for the public eye. They re-upped with Mark Sanchez. And they got Jeff Otah from the Carolina Panthers, former first-round pick. They're taking a flyer on him, see if they can get things to work out with him, because they haven't so far in his career. Jeremiah Bell, the safety they got. Let me go back to Tim Tebow. Mark Sanchez is just in a position right now where he cannot win. Whatever Mark Sanchez does, the backup quarterback's always the most popular person on the team. That's how the saying goes. And in this case, the backup quarterback may be the most popular person in the NFL and possibly in pro sports, and that's incredible. But I think that Tim Tebow by week 7, week 8 is probably the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. I think the Jets end up at about 7-9 this year. There are some concerns though with this team. Santonio Holmes, that could become a distraction. Bart Scott, I know, wanted out of there. So as bright as things looked a few years ago, they're not looking quite as bright now. In second place, I have the Buffalo Bills, who have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, especially to start off. They get Mario Williams in the offseason, the big offseason move, signing him to a 6-year deal. They're going to get back Fred Jackson. I think that they also signed Mark Anderson, Scott Chandler, re-signed Stevie Johnson, and I think Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're going to get a lot closer to the first half Ryan Fitzpatrick than you did with the second half. They did bring in Vince Young. I gotta tell you, from watching Vince Young here in Philly last year, he's just never going to be able to be a throwing quarterback. In the later stages of the game, can he lead a drive? Yes, because he can run, and that's something that's crucial for running the 2-minute drill, is the ability to run. But the problem is that Vince Young really is just a horrendous thrower, and I don't think that long-term he could be the Bills' starting quarterback. And considering you just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick to a 6-year deal, I think it's best that they continue to work with him and make him their franchise quarterback rather than automatically going in a different direction early on. But you can mark this down. If Ryan Fitzpatrick has a tough first few games, they will be calling for Vince Young, and Chan Gailey will have a tough decision out there. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick does figure things out, has a good season with Stevie Johnson, has a better year, and they go 10-6 this year and win a wild card, go to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Still the nicest uniforms in the NFL. Then I have the Patriots in first place at 13-3. They have franchised Wes Welker this offseason to keep him at 1 year, about $13 million or so. And then they also signed Brandon Lloyd away from the Denver Broncos. Should be interesting to see what they do with Brandon Lloyd. Wes Welker, I think a lot of people felt like they should have gave him a long-term deal. They didn't. I think he's a system type guy, so there wasn't any other team that was going to give him that type of long-term deal, so it didn't necessarily make sense for them to do that. Obviously, you have Tom Brady there. The defense made improvements, especially on in the playoffs. Patriots 13-3 and should compete for another Super Bowl after winning the AFC.
Just a little bit around the corner from fear. Be there.